My name is Becca Griffin. I am the director of a youth cooperative in Cookeville, Tennessee. I've worked in the Methodist Church for a while, and I am an artist. I write poetry, I do stand-up comedy, and today I'm going to talk about how what's going on inside of us is affected by what's going on around us in our generation, in our society, and in our time, and how the most important thing on our timelines is to do this. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Remember, I am the Lord your God who brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of your slavery. This is a phrase that's repeated often in the Bible. The word that's in all caps there, Lord, would be spelled like this in Hebrew, from right to left. It would look like this in our letters. From right to left, you switch it around, YHWH, that would sound like this. Well, go ahead, try and sound it. Right? Well, if you change the Y sound and bring it to the back of the throat like the Y does, it's sort of y at the back of the throat. The name of the Lord is an onomatopoeia for breathe in, breathe out. To say the name of the Lord is simple and natural. We've been doing it since we were born. All of us, every creature breathing on the planet. Something else that is simple and natural is birds pooping. Birds have been pooping yesterday. Birds are pooping today. And I tell you that birds will poop again tomorrow. Praise be to God. It's a simple and natural thing. And so is church experimentation. The church has experimented in the past, the church is experimenting now, and the church will experiment in the future. Life goes on. Things change. It's simple and natural. So I'm going to share two experiments with you. One is a writing experiment, and the other is a church experiment with youth ministry. The writing experiment helped me with what I was dealing with on the inside. And the church experiment helped me within my context, to understand myself as part of the whole. So when birds poop, they scatter seeds. And those seeds will fall into certain places, and the context that they fall in will affect their growth. Seeds have certain things inside of them. Certain things that will determine how they grow and what they'll grow into. Certain DNA, certain genetics. A tomato seed will not grow into a carrot, and a carrot seed will not grow into a tomato. Right? Does that make sense? All right. And a seed has a context that it will thrive within. The water, the soil, the air, the nutrients of the seed will affect the seed growth, and it needs certain things. Different seeds need different contexts. And then beyond that, you have the gardener and the intention and attention of the gardener that will affect the seed growth. You have the history of the soil that will affect the seed growth as well. And then beyond that, the seed and the context of the seed are subject to math, physics, biology, the universe, mystery, magic, if you will, God, if you will, as well. It's all connected. And seeds have cycles. When a seed is buried or dies, that's just the beginning of new life. When a plant releases fruit, that fruit will release seeds. And as in a tomato plant, the tomato plant will die, but the life of the plant lives on in the seed. It keeps going. I am similar to a seed in that I was born into a certain context, certain DNA, certain genetics. My context has been varied religiously. I've been exposed to a lot of things. And I would say that I'm religiously nomadic. I've moved around a lot, and I move around a lot in thought as well. A lot of different experiences in church, a lot of different experiences outside of the church. I've experienced harm, and I've experienced good. The one thing for me that's been consistent throughout this whole timeline is that I've been breathing the whole time. I'll share two things specifically about me, what my genetics mean. My genetics mean that I have high creativity. I'm very creative, and thus experimentation comes natural to me. I'm also very anxious. I experience high anxiety and depression. And at age 28, my creativity and inspiration is at a height unlike I've ever experienced. And my anxiety and depression is matching that. I've never been so anxious in my whole life. And so in learning to manage my depression and anxiety, the creativity helped. And I came up with an experiment. And within my context, my creativity has helped me understand myself as part of a whole. My depression and anxiety started to affect those around me, and I knew I needed to start to learn to manage it. And with the help of those I was in ministry with, I asked for help. I said, I can't keep functioning like this. It's Maslow's hierarchy of needs. I can't keep thinking at this level and not feel safe or secure. And so I received help when I asked for help. It wasn't easy to admit I needed help. And I used my creativity to come up with something called Ode to We, an experiment using the first person plural exclusively. Ode to We is a way of seeing ourselves as part of the whole. The reason I did this was because in my anxiety, I was experiencing intrusive thoughts, where I was thinking thoughts like, I'm stupid, I'm a monster, I'm the worst person in the world, no one wants to be around me, everyone hates me. Constantly, I was thinking that. And I knew that it was a lie, that I was a monster, and that I was to be reduced to stupid. And so, to seek truth, I started doing this. I stopped using I, me, you, y'all, you guys, they, them, my, mine, your, yours. And I started using we, us, our, ours, all of us. And here's how that helped. When I thought I am stupid, I changed it to we are stupid. And that's kind of funny. And if we as humans can be defined as stupid, then that makes someone like Einstein stupid, or Stephen Hawking stupid, and they are not stupid. Therefore, since they are not stupid, we as humans cannot be defined as stupid, and I cannot be reduced to stupid. I thought things like I am a monster, and then I changed it to we are monsters. Martin Luther King Jr. was not a monster, neither is any person who would fight for the rights of another person. Therefore, we as humans are not monsters. We were never intended to be. Therefore, I am not to be reduced to a monster. And so you can kind of adventure around in this writing experiment or thought experiment. If I am loved, then we are loved. That means that my enemy is loved. And if my enemy is not loved, that means that we as humans are not loved and that I am not loved. There's a lot of truth to be gained as seeing ourselves as part of a whole. Feel free to use this equation. Please use it, especially if you experience anxiety, depression, obsessive compulsive disorder. Name your thing. Name your context that you're in where you're thinking thoughts like that. Or if someone has said something of you, has defined you as something other than what we truly are as humans. Take time now and breathe in, breathe out, and I want you to insert something there. This form of youth ministry, Seeds, came out of this mindset, a desire to see each other as part of a whole, to see ourselves as part of a whole, the desire that everyone would be heard and every breath in the room mattered all the time. My breath matters just as much as any other person's matters, no matter their age. And so we approach youth ministry as community development, asset-based community development. Every individual is an asset to the community, and without each person's breath, we do not hear the name of God as clearly. And when we approach the Bible, we all become interpreters, using Lectio Divina, which is an ancient practice in the church. And we say, here's how this text makes me feel. We all become interpreters. And we use a text called Manna and Mercy. And this text celebrates diversity and expects different perspectives. Ode to We and Seeds are of the same mindset, a desire to see ourselves as part of a whole, experimenting with our plurality. One has helped me on the inside, and the other has helped on the outside. We all experience good and harm within ourselves. We all create good and harm in the world. We experience good and harm in our context, in our generation, in our society, and in our time. We will experience both. Birds pooped yesterday. Birds are pooping today. Birds will poop again tomorrow. Church experimentation happened yesterday. Church experimentation is happening today. Church experimentation will happen tomorrow. We have changed. We are changing. A change is gonna come. And we'll all go through cycles. Times where we feel we're buried, lifeless, and times where we experience great joy and fruition, and so on and so on. May we learn to remember this. Remember, I am the Lord. You could rephrase that. Please look at me. Remember to breathe. Without your breath, No one in this room and no one in this world will hear the name of God as clearly. Breathe in, breathe out. Dream, go, do this in remembrance of me, Jesus said to a church in disagreement over church rules, communion. I think Jesus would be okay with saying, do this in remembrance of we. Don't forget each other. Because the name of God is on the breath of every individual here. So I say, ode to we, all of us. Listen to yourself now. Listen to the name of God within you. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now listen to the name of God around you. Everyone, breathe in. Breathe out. May we learn to listen for that name more and more. And may we trust it in ourselves. And so may my voice not be the only one heard during this time. Please say this with me and celebrate all creation, every living thing on the planet, every person. Say this with me. Ode to we, all of us.